5 days in the countryside with no internet, no work, and no human contact. I'm going to talk about my experience and my reflections from a 5-day solitary retreat that I've just come back from. I'd heard a lot of people talking about the power of solitary retreats and just how profound they can be, and that's what convinced me to sign up for one myself. So before the retreat, I was expecting it to be a pretty tumultuous time, like what might come up to the surface for me. What might happen when I completely unplug and I'm left with nothing but my own thoughts for 5 days straight. The retreat was actually pretty boring. Like nothing at all spectacular happened. There was no surfacing of repressed childhood trauma. There was no profound realization. There wasn't even any experience of meditative bliss. Instead, the main feeling I was left with was just a feeling of I'm fine. Like I'm fine with my own company. I'm fine with how my life is going. Which, like is a nice feeling to have, but honestly I was feeling pretty disappointed. Like I wanted to come back and tell all my friends I've just been on this solitary retreat and had this insane realization, and wanted to come and make a YouTube video telling people about how great solitary retreats are, but I was left with none of that. So the main takeaway that I got from it is that the spiritual life can be pretty boring when we expect spectacular things to happen. It kind of reminds me of this time when I was quite new to meditation, and I thought to myself, I want to go and meditate on this hill. So there's this hill in my town which has really scenic views, and I thought that would be the perfect place to meditate because I usually just meditate in my bedroom. So I remember the day I got up super early because I wanted to get to the top of the hill exactly when the sun rose and then meditate. So I caught 2 buses to get to the bottom, and then I walked all the way from the bottom to the top, and it was so dark I had to use my flashlight to see where I was going. But eventually I got to the top and the views were absolutely amazing. You could see the whole town being lit up by the sunrise. It was the perfect place to meditate. So I sat down to meditate. I think it was for like 20 minutes. And the meditation I had was absolutely mediocre. Like I was just ruminating about the exact same things that I was thinking about when I was meditating in my bedroom. If anything, it was even more disappointing because the whole time I was just thinking to myself, I'm supposed to be having this amazing experience meditating in this place, but it's just the same as meditating in my bedroom. And that's what I mean when I say often the times when we expect the spectacular, we can be left disappointed. I feel like most of the big insights that I've gained have come from moments like where I've just been walking down the street and realised what my mind's doing. Or a lot of big insights I get just from having a casual chat with my friend Henry. And it's in these unexpected moments where I learn the most rather than those big moments. And it's not to say that meditation or going on retreats is useless. Like I've made videos on how meditation has been life-changing to me, on how the last retreat I went to was life-changing for me. But what I would say is not to expect the spectacular from these things. So after all of that rambling, my takeaway message, I guess for myself, but maybe this will also resonate with you, is don't get disheartened if you don't see the spectacular. In the spiritual world, actually a lot of desire can be generated from maybe you see an advertisement for one of these fancy retreats, or maybe you see someone online talking about having this spectacular experience from psychedelics or from meditation. Or maybe you even watch my video on meditation and you think, how is this motherfucker talking about experiencing joy when I've been meditating for ages and I'm still miserable? But my message for you is, if you're just consistently doing your thing, if you're meditating every day, learning from people who are wiser than you, if you're trying to act better every day, then you're already smashing it, man, and just keep doing your thing. So that's all I had to say about that, and thanks for listening to me ramble. I'm going to finish by saying what I always say, which is don't take yourself too seriously.